There are two kinds of people in this world. The people who fail to do what they know they should, and those who keep doing things they know they shouldn't. Guess what? You're both. Hi, I'm your host, life and business coach, Marcy Barker, aka your loving kick in the pants. In this podcast, I'll teach you the 6 steps of my accountability code that will help you wake up with clarity and show up with aligned action steps that make follow through easy and peaceful. All right, let's jump in. Hello, my beautiful people. I am actually recording this podcast laying in bed because I'm trying to go to bed early because I have to get up early because I have such an early flight and it's a couple hour drive to the airport, which I'm not excited about, but I am really excited to talk about this topic on the podcast today because I'm sure you've seen it going around. It's that post about the Stanley company and how they blew up. It's a company that's over 100 years old, and they blew up and went viral because they changed the target market for who they were going for. And it used to be like a camping, hunting brand that they would advertise for men, and their cups were in, very neutral colors. And I'm just telling you the story based on different social media posts I've heard. So this is definitely a podcast where I would love to hear your thoughts about, because I probably don't have every piece of the puzzle that you may have heard from your perspective. But essentially, Stanley, they changed up their market. They started doing colors and for women, and a couple of their products blew up, and now Stanley is like this huge company. And if I remember correctly, like last year they had $70 million in sales, and this next year it's projected to be like $750 million. So in my Facebook group of women entrepreneurs, there was a post that was made that somebody was very mad that Stanley cups are selling for over $300 because people are making limited edition versions of them. And the image was a meme, so I don't know if that person specifically created it, but they were talking about how the same people who are buying the limited edition cups from a massive company are also the same people who are complaining that shopping from small businesses and paying $45 for a cup is way too expensive. And I made the comment and I said, be in business for over 100 years and I'm sure it's going to get you places. And somebody was not okay with that comment. They were just very mad that this big business had taken advantage of all the little guys. And her comment went into how her grandkids are struggling and they can't find jobs and rent is too expensive. And it's all because of huge companies that crush the little guys. And, I was thinking, at what point do we stop companies from growing? Because I think every company is entitled to reap the rewards of the risks that they've taken. And being in business for a very long time is obviously a challenge. People don't just continue in business on accident, So she was sharing all this personal information that was trying to convince me that I should be mad about big companies like that too. And as the admin of the group, I always try to engage in conversations. I don't want to stray away from anything that might be controversial just to keep the peace. I feel like there are times where I have to engage with the group as if I was, right there in the room with them. Hey listeners, the message of waking up and showing up is yours for the taking. In fact, it's free. I've recorded my entire audiobook and I'd love for you to consume it between episodes. Head to marcybarker.com to get instant access to the accountability code Wake Up and Show Up. All right, let's jump back in. So on one of the comments I had said, well, for sharing personal stories, then I'll share. And I was one of 8 kids raised on welfare, went to college on government money, and graduated, started a business while I was having babies, and eventually made it to 6 figures, added my girls to my payroll, purchased a second home, and I talked about how my great-grandma actually passed away in a mental hospital. And part of the reason she was there is because she had an experience related to money. So I had commented that every generation, needs to do better than the last one. And I feel like if people are willing to take risks and to try new things and build a company, then I definitely think they should get all the rewards for the work that they're putting in. So I would love to hear your thoughts, though, about this, because I don't know. I guess it's weird that people want to get mad about successful companies. In my book, there's a story called Comparison is Not the Thief of Joy. And I feel like if there's ever a time where you're comparing yourself to somebody, you have to ask yourself, is this a person I want to be like? So in this case, is that company a company this lady wants to be like? If yes, then it's like, learn from them. If not, why are you even wasting your time and energy on them? So in business, and I commented too, and I said, for the record, I don't even have a Stanley. I have a knockoff that I purchased at a boutique from a small business owner that another lady boss put on. And I went around to every single booth and supported as many vendors as I was interested in, and still offered validation and support and attended this event that, a fellow group member put on. And I ended the conversation, as at least my interaction with the conversation, that just like this woman, I'm also showing how I believe, showing what I think by acting. And we always have that ability to show up and act according to our beliefs. And I think that's such a powerful thing. And no matter what it's going towards, I think it should be supported. I think that the very action of standing by what you believe in and making it happen is something that should be supported, even if you don't agree with the exact purpose that people are shooting for. So I would like to know your thoughts on the whole matter. What have you heard in social media? And ultimately, what is your belief about showing up and supporting small business, or small companies versus big companies, or anything like that? I think this conversation is just really beneficial to take a personal inventory and just kind of challenge some of your beliefs and put those values into how you are running your business. So reach out to me. Let me know what you think about this. And in the meantime, I will see you next week for another episode of Your Loving Kick in the Pants. Good night. Hey friends, I want to thank you for listening to this episode of Your Loving Kick in the Pants. If you got any value out of this episode, I would love for you to drop me a review or share with a friend what you learned. All right, I'll see you next Wednesday for Your Loving Kick in the Pants.